Have you ever taken the night stairs? Listen carefully. If you ever hear an extra step in your house after midnight, do not check which one it is, do not count. And do not go looking for it, because the night stairs love people who count them. You think I am joking? You think this is one more scary story for late hours? But this one is simple. It is about stairs, and it is true. Everyone in our old apartment building knew about the hidden flight behind the laundry room. It was a plain iron stairwell with chipped paint and a cold rail. In the day, it ended at the basement. At night, it did not end at all, we called it. The night stairs, people passed rumors like coins. There were rules, simple rules, easy to remember, and easy to break when you were scared. Only go at 3:03 a.m. Hold the rail with your left hand. Do not count the steps out loud. Someone calls your name, do not answer. If you smell rain, turn back, never look up. If you must look, only look down. Do not bring a mirror. If you see a door with yellow paint, do not open it. If you hear a step that does not match your foot, run. These rules did not come from a book. It came from people who came back, or from the friends who waited upstairs and heard a second. Set of feet return without them. I did not believe any of this until my little brother Hamza did not come home one evening. He sent one text at 7:18 p.m., running late after that. Nothing. His phone rang once and then went dead. The police wrote a report. The neighbors brought food. My mother cried in the kitchen. I stood in the hallway and listened to our staircase breathe, relaxed in the day, tense at night. At 2:59 a.m., I took a torch, a coil of thin red thread, and a pocket full of salt. I do not know why I took the thread. Maybe because the story said, tie it to the rail so you know the way back. The salt was for the steps. Old luck from old places. I went down the hall, past sleeping doors, to the laundry room. The air was cold and smelled like wet coins. The night stairs were waiting. The first step was clean. It's like someone had wiped it. The second had a dent. The third had a drop of old paint. That never dried. I checked the time. 3:03 a.m. I tied the red thread to the rail and wrapped it around my left wrist. I took the rail with my left hand. I put one foot on the first step. I went down for the first flight. It felt normal. Iron under my shoes, small echoes, the soft clink of the thread against the rail. Then the building stopped above me. The sound of the city ended like someone closed a door. It was just me, my breathing, and steps. I remembered the rules do not count, so I did not count. But my mind counted anyway. 4, 5, 6. I bit my lip and chewed the numbers into silence. My torch made a narrow tunnel of light. It touched each step and then the next, like a finger tapping a shoulder. There was no wall beyond the rail. Only a very soft black that looked like fabric. If I leaned, I thought I could press my hand into it and feel it move. After a while, I smelled rain. It did not make sense. We were inside. But the smell was there, sweet and cold, the rule said. If you smell rain, turn back. I almost turned. Then I thought about my mother's face and my brother's last message. I kept going. I told myself the smell was my nerves. Zara, a voice said behind me. It sounded like my mother, tired and small. I kept my face forward. I gripped the rail. The voice tried again. Zara, come, please. It shook a little. Like she was crying. I know my mother's crying voice. This one was close, but not right. The not right part was under the words. Like a second voice speaking at the same time, I did not answer. The rules matter more than love down there. That is how the stairs get you. They put love behind you. The torch touched a step with a chalk. Mark. A circle with a line through it. A warning. The paint on the rail changed from gray to a sick yellow. And I saw a door. It was narrow and painted yellow too. A number 12 was written on it, the rule said. Do not open a yellow door. I kept moving, but I could not stop my eyes from reading the little words scratched under the number with a key. Lower laundry. I almost laughed. It felt like a joke to make me feel safe. I kept my eyes down. You can feel time stretch there. Like gum between fingers, it gets thin. The thread kept sliding, sliding. I reached to pull it back and found slack. A lot of slack. I lifted it. The line had been cut, clean. No weight led up to the world. My heart made a new sound, a dry sound. For a moment I stood very still. The rail was cold. My torch shook. And the light made little faces from shadows on the steps. I remembered another story. A janitor named Imran used to leave a line of salt on the steps every Sunday night, he said. It stopped the drips when he forgot one week. The next morning, the hallway outside the laundry room was wet from the ceiling. From the floor, from nothing. The salt keeps the steps dry, he said. I took a pinch and let it fall. The grains made a tiny sound like rain on tin. The smell of rain got stronger, and the darkness on the other side of the rail rustled like leaves. Zara, the mother voice said. Then my brother's voice, Z, I'm here. The second voice under it was closer now. I kept going. I breathed slow. My shoes touched a step that felt soft. Like skin under old cloth I did not stand on. I slid my foot back and stepped over it. I did not look up. I did not look down. I put my light on the rail and watched my own hand so I did not see the step again. Something began to climb with me. It did not match my pace. I heard it when I paused. It paused when I walked. It did not like to be heard. That is when I knew I was deeper than the basement, deeper than the foundations. I was walking down through a place that lives alone and only touches our world. At 3:03 a.m., when it can wear our stairwells like a mask, the rail bent to the left and then the left again, not a spiral, more like a square that kept folding after. A while, the metal grew warmer, like it was remembering hands. My torch showed finger smudges and something like scratches in a child's height. Name's AHM. I traced one. Ham. I pulled my hand back, not because I was afraid, but because the letters moved, they straightened. They spelled something else, and then nothing. The stairs do not like to be read. A cold wind got into my hair, carrying a faint ocean taste. I do not live near the sea. The rules did not say anything. About the sea, I kept going. There was a landing at last. I knew it because my foot found flat. My torch showed a little square space with two doors. One was yellow, one was painted the same gray as the rail. The gray door had a small sign, storage. The yellow had a small sign, back neither handle had dust. Another rule lived in my head, and I do not know when I learned it. If they give you two doors, pick neither. So I took the rail and kept going down. After that, the stairs got narrower and the steps got taller. Every rise burned my legs. My breath became loud. The other sound, the not matching step, kept a little. Behind me, lazy, patient, it liked me tired. Then I heard people. It sounded like a hallway full of voices, like at school when a class gets out. But all the voices were soft. They were whispers that forgot words. They said almost and wait, and turn, and stay, and please, and why. A hand brushed my back. Very light, I put salt on the rail. The touch withdrew at once, a dry hiss, then laughter. Not funny laughter, empty laughter, like someone pretending they know the joke. The steps ended, not stopped. They ended. Imagine a road that keeps going. But the world ran out and forgot to tell the road. That was the feeling. I stood on the last step and shined the torch into the nothing. The light went out and did not come back. It was like dropping a coin into a deep well and waiting and waiting. I waved the light around. I found another rail. The same rail on the other side. I was at a gap, a broken place a little wider than. A doorway the other side began again and went down into the dark. And on that first step across the gap was a shoe, Hamza's shoe, black with the white stripe. A little tear at the side where he always kicked the door. I knew it in a breath. I almost said his name. I bit my tongue and tasted blood. The shoe turned a little, as if hearing me. No, not the shoe. The thing in it. The dark around it thickened. Like milk, I came to take my brother, I said in a small voice, breaking the rule about talking. But not breaking the rule about answering. I brought salt, and I paid with sleep. I came at the right time. Let me take him, and I will. Go! The laughter again. Distant. Then the not matching step moved closer until it stood right behind me. It wanted to stand where I stand. It wanted to wear me like the stairs wear the building. I put salt along the edge of my step and let the rest fall across the gap like a line of white stars. The smell of rain went sharp, and the air tasted like a battery on the tongue. My torch flickered. It did not go out. It showed me something in the gap. Not a floor, not a stair, but a surface that might be a surface if it decided to be. I knew I had to cross. I tied the end of my cut red thread around my wrist again, even though it was useless. The knot made me brave, Hamza, I whispered. Not as an answer, but as a direction, like you whisper north before you walk. A foot touched my ankle, cold, heavier than a hand. Lighter than a person, it tried to step into me. I took a step forward anyway. My foot went down onto nothing and did not fall. Then the next, I kept my eyes on the far rail. I did not look down. I did not look up. The voices got angry all at once, like a crowd in a stadium when the ref misses something. The air pulled at my clothes, like water, like wind, like hands. I took another step. There were 3 steps across the gap, 3 steps that were not steps. After the third, I hit iron. Again, the far rail. I grabbed it. I pulled myself onto the first real step. I turned my torch back and held it low. The shoe was gone. A figure stood on the near side. It was Hamza's height. It wore Hamza's hoodie. It did not have a face. It had a place where a face would be if you gave it one. The place turned toward me like a mirror waiting for a person you cannot follow, I said. Not if you want me to keep looking at you. It did not move. Then something moved inside. It, like a fish under a thin sheet. Then a mouth formed. It was my mouth. Then my mother's, then a stranger's. It tried them like masks. None fit. It made a small, wet sound of effort. It took a step onto the knot steps of the gap. It sank a little. It hissed. It withdrew. It shook as if cold. Then the hoodie collapsed. The shoe rolled to the edge and dropped into the black with a soft, careful noise. Behind me, the knot matching. Step stood very close. It breathed on the back of my neck. I did not turn. I ran. I broke the rule about running, but I did not care. Sometimes rules are not for you. Sometimes they are for the place. The stairs protested. They bent a little under each foot. The rail grew hot. The whispers rose and broke into words. Stay. Stay, stay. I did not. I ran until I saw the yellow door again. I ran until I smelled old laundry soap instead of rain. The thread on my wrist burned against my skin, like a line under the sun. I reached another landing. Another. The steps grew normal. They were simple metal in a building that needed a paint job. The air became air again. I burst into the laundry room and fell to the tile. The bright lights were a slap. When I looked back, the stairs were just stairs. A small, wet footprint sat on the second step, the size of a child. It faded as I watched. Like a dream when you try to tell it. We did not find Hamza that week. The next, the police moved on to other cases. My mother cleaned his room and left it neat. Every night at 3:03 a.m., I wake up, not because of an alarm, not because of a habit. I wake because my own staircase makes a sound it did not make before. There is one more step now. It hides between the 7th and the 8th. You cannot see it in the daylight. You can only feel it when the house is asleep. You can only feel it if you let your foot hang for a second and wait for the cold to lift you. Sometimes I hold the rail with my left hand and count in my head and do not say the numbers. Sometimes I smell rain in the hallway. We do not have yellow doors in our flat, but once the kitchen door looked a little wrong, a little deeper, a little patient, and then it was normal again. I am writing this for you because I know you will hear it too. An extra step, a breath under a step, a small, careful change in your own house. If you take the night stairs, remember the rules. But also remember this. They do not want your body. First, they want your attention. They want you to give them shape by looking, by counting, by calling out to people you love. If you hear your name, do not answer. If you see a yellow door, do not open it. If you smell rain, turn back. If the gap shows you someone you miss, do not offer your face, do not offer your voice, do not offer your feet. And if you ever take the night stairs and you make it home, do not go a second time. The first time it lets you return because it is learning you. The second time it knows you well enough to keep you. So I will ask you again. Have you ever taken the night stairs? If not, be grateful. And if yes, please. Do not look up when you reach the landing tonight, because something on the step above is waiting to learn your face, and once it learns it, the stairs in your house will never end. Not for you, not for the people who love you, not at 3:03 a.m., not ever.